Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of Ant on Music. I am your humble host, Ant, and this week we've got a show that is a mixture of 80s, 90s, and current stuff, a mixture of updated hair metal, goth, alternative, and thrash. So we've got quite a variance on music on this show. Got a couple of color vinyls to show you. Got a couple of bootlegs. That nasty word, bootlegs, to show you as well. So we're going to hop right on into it. After you hit that subscribe button, subscribe. Want to welcome the new people that joined the channel in the past couple of weeks. Glad to see new people on here. Love the conversations, even when you're being negative. All right, I try not to be, so we'll try and keep it positive. So what do we got? All right, right off the bat, we have got a 30th anniversary edition, first time on vinyl. This is a band from the 80s, all right? And I got to say, I'm a little PO'd. Not at the band, not at the release. One of the online retailers that I deal with, or maybe dealt with, because of the way they handled the release of the album. They weren't supposed to release it. They released it back in August. I saw that they released, people were posting online. And the cool thing about that version of the vinyl was it was colored, and I really wanted it colored in the orange and yellow that it was coming in. Why? I don't know. Just because it was a limited edition and all that stuff. And I love things like that because I'm a big kid. So I saw that they're being released, so I reached out to them a couple of times, and they finally got back to me and said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll get it out to you." Next thing I see online, they canceled my order. So be careful who you deal with. Vendor I'm talking about, retailer I'm talking about is Experience Vinyl. What I should have done was buy it directly from the label that was releasing it, which is Deco Records. But I did get a copy on Black Vinyl, which I'm thrilled for because it's the first time it's been on vinyl. Talking about Warrant's 30th anniversary edition of Ultraphobic on Black Vinyl. After Cherry Pie, because Janie Lane was the Cherry Pie guy, they kind of got written off, which really sucked because, in my humble opinion, Janie was a fantastic songwriter, and he didn't get the credit that he deserved. And even after, the hair metal bubble popped and, bands went on and they tried different things, most were not successful. A lot of the generation that came up on it didn't support the bands that had pulled through on hair metal. They didn't accept them in new forms. It's like some bands are great at reinventing themselves and they're given all the credit in the world, like U2. All right, a lot of the hair metal bands, not so much. But I really do like this album an awful lot. This album, I think, is an underrated non-hair metal classic from a hair metal band. Just to show you, this is very similar to the interior of the CD from when it came out. And it is on Black Vinyl, just give you a little peek right there. But I think it's a very good album. It starts off pretty heavy, and it's like you lose a lot of the hair metal trappings on this one, but there is still a heaviness to it. It starts off with Undertow, and then Followed, which has a good chorus. Family Picnic definitely stomps. Some of One is a good song. Chameleon and Chameleon, it's a semi-ballady type of track. I still dig it. Crawl Space, same thing. Live Inside of You is good. High, Ride Number 2, all right. Title track, pretty good. And it closes off with a really good ballad called Stronger Now, which is very, very cool. And, I mean, you've got, some of the returning cast to the crew of Warrant. You get Janie Lane, Jerry Dixon, and Eric Turner. At this point, James Kotak, who also played drums with the Scorps, is on drums, and Rick Steyer on bass. And there was a guest violinist. Who's the guest violinist on this? Jim Sitterly, who is on Stronger Now, and J.J. Farris contributed acoustic guitar to Stronger Now as well. If you've never heard this album, I say give it a listen. I've always really liked this album, and like I said, I don't think it gets enough credit. So that's me preaching about Warrant this week. Next up, got one of our bootlegs here. We're going to do 2 bootlegs in a row. Cool thing about this bootleg it was live in Hollywood back in '90, and this is Faith No More. And cool thing about this is a bunch of people jumped up on stage like Ozzy when they did War Pigs. Show you the back of that. You get the track listing, and of course we've got a very epic-like looking cover art here and gatefold here from from their probably their most widely known single, Epic. Got an intro, then you got From Out of Nowhere, title track, not title track, but opening track there. Falling to Pieces, then you get title track from Introduce Yourself, then title track from The Real Thing. Underwater Love, As the Worm Turns, Crab Song, Edge of the World, Chinese Arithmetic, We Care a Lot, which is from the original album. Nestle, Surprise, You're Dead, which I totally dig. Epic. Then you get Easy, which is a great cover from the Commodores. Love their version of it. Woodpecker from Mars, War Pigs, and then some closing comments as well. And this is very cool labels on this. So you get the artwork. And it is, I always say, on DJ Unfriendly clear vinyl, because there's nothing worse than having to DJ and queue up clear vinyl. What a pain in the balls that is. So, this was one of the bootlegs that I got. And I got this a few weeks ago, but, wasn't fitting in with what I was doing for the shows for you. And I just held it back knowing that, I had some other heavier stuff coming in. And, this is cool. It's a good list. It actually is recorded very well. And I wish I could remember what it was recorded for. It was a party for something, but I can't. It escapes me now. Another bootleg I got. All right, and this is from the vinyl voice editions. All right, and this band is going to be shown twice this week. This one is a live album, obviously from Live at Dynamo. I'm talking about Testament. All right. I had the good fortune of working a show with Testament way back in the day, back on the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1991. They were pulled to go on the Thrash of the Titans tour in Europe. They promised the club streets that I was working in that they would return and honor the date, and they did. And if I remember correctly, it was a Wednesday night, which was unusual because the club was generally only opened Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The guys in the band were great. I've talked about it before, but if you look up top over here, you see my copy of the New Order. And you see another copy of the New Order. That's the updated version. I think it's blue and black swirl. But that is autographed. And if you zoom in, you'll see that one person's not listed there, and that's Alex Skolnick. Well, Alex Skolnick did sign the album, but for some reason, Alex decided to sign it on the front. As far as this release goes, all right? Cool gatefold. Let's show that to you so you can see it. Got some info on the show itself. Some live photos right there. And this, I believe, is colored. Yes, it is. Almost like a sunburst finish. Very cool. Orange with a little bit of a red fleck in there. And it's a good set from the band. It's pretty solid. You get Demonic Refusal, Low, Over the Wall, which I love. Burnt Offering is another great song. Into the Pit, which is like classic Testament. No better song to be into the pit for than Into the Pit. The New Order, which I dig. Dogface Gods, and Disciples of the Watch. So very killer set from Dynamo Open Air 1997. But that's not all from Testament. We have a new one from Testament that came out. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't listened to it in its entirety. What I have listened to, I like. If you dig low era Testament, you'll probably dig this one. Alex Skolnick is, on the album. Alex is one of my favorite guitarists, and he's very versatile. Okay, if you haven't heard him with Testament, maybe you've heard him or seen him with the Jane Getter Premonition, which is Jane's a phenomenal guitarist in her own right, and her husband Adam Holzman plays keys on it. Or you might have seen him with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, one of the touring vehicles that goes around for the holidays. This is a cool album. The new one came out. I got myself one of the colored editions. It's called Parabellum. So show you the front and the back, show you the gate right there, boys in the band. You've got the core of Chuck and Alex and Eric Peterson there, as well as you get the new drummer, who, as my friend Kevin Lynch said, isn't effing around, and he's not. Album kicks off with a lot of blast beats, okay, on For the Love of Pain. Then you get, after that, you get Infanticide AI, which is the first video, which is very cool. Shadow People, then Meant to Be, which is a ballad, which I dig when these guys do ballads, because, I think Chuck, even though he has a very, strong, harsh voice, it just seems to add a whole level of heaviness to it. High Noon, Witch Hunt, Nature of the Beast, Room 117, Havana Syndrome, and the title track Parabellum. Like I said, maybe, like I said, if you like Low, you're going to dig it. Otherwise, you might be a little put back. If you're looking for stuff like New Order or Practice What You Preach or The Legacy, you might be disappointed. And this is a cool marbled vinyl that they have here. And it's a 2-album set. It also comes with a really nice booklet. Show you that. A couple of pictures from that as well. Then we'll get into the big box we have for the week. So, got Chuck right there. Eric Peterson. And this has all the lyrics in here, as well as the liner notes. Got Alex. Steve DiGiorgio on bass. He's a phenomenal bass player, Steve DiGiorgio. And Chris Dovas on drums. This dude is a maniac. So if you love blast beats, this is an album for you. So you want to check that out if you haven't listened to Testament. I don't know if this is a great place to start, but it's definitely out and about. You want to check it out. It's new, something to listen to. Go right ahead. So finally, where are we at? We are up to our box set of the week. And I'm going to swing my mic out of the way for a moment here so you can catch a peek. Give it away, all right? First off, if any of you know what this is Madame Zuzu's Tea Shop out in Chicago, Illinois, which is currently under attack by our own government. You gotta love it. And the front of it has nothing to do with what's going on there, but it's the opening line from one of the tracks, the first single, Everlasting Gaze. I am talking about the Smashing Pumpkins' Machina, Aranea, Alba, Aditio. All right? And they put out this massive box set. Back at the end of August, this album celebrated its 25th anniversary, and they put out a double album set. They also put out a couple of different versions. Music's the same, couple of different versions as far as price point. Like you got basic black, you've got silver and black, and then you've got like silver and black autographed by Billy Corgan himself. And the story on this album is I'm going to show you the artwork. We'll talk a little bit about it. There's a ton of tracks to go through it. It takes like the original 32 tracks, I believe it is, of Machina, and it adds, it's Machina and Machina 2, and it adds bonus tracks. I believe it's like 48 bonus tracks. And Billy took the time with this. The idea is that he rejiggered the entire album running order to fit the story the way he had wanted to tell it, and fleshed it out with additional music that was already in the can, but it just, record company wasn't having it, because obviously you're talking about, probably would have been, I think, 6 pieces of vinyl, which is a lot to ask for. It probably like 3 CDs, maybe 4. So it's a lot. But we do have this, and I've seen other people review it and say, "Oh, it's ridiculous, it's overkill." No, it's what Billy wanted to do. And, I'm all for respecting what the artist wants to do. This is the project that he had in mind. And like I said, it's got reimagined artwork all the way through. We'll show you that. And there is a booklet as well. Did I show the 12? Yeah, this is volume 1. And show you this. It's a lot to go through, but we do have that. And I got the basic black edition. It wasn't worth another, whatever, $70, whatever it was, to get it on silver and black, especially with the price point on this being so ridiculously high. But, wanted to have it in my collection. I am a Pumpkins fan. I know a lot of times my Pumpkins videos don't do great, but, screw it. I love it. So that's, and this is what I'm collecting. You collect what you want to collect. It's like I'm collecting. If you come here and check it out, cool, fine. And obviously this has all the lyrics and liner notes in there. I'm not going to show you everything because it all basically has the same look to it. But, we get all the additional artwork. And this was like the height of their goth look as far as the Pumpkins go. And if you remember the video, this is like Billy at full vampire best and an everlasting gaze with the black leather outfit, the extremely white bald head, and the band just looks incredibly strung out. So you get that. So this is vinyls 3 and 4. Show you the back, show you the track listing there. If you want to check all that out, you can. Show the inner artwork. Showing you it upside down. That's better. There we go. Show the other slab here as well. And each of these has a booklet in them, which is neat. So you get a ton of stuff to read along to as you're listening. I'll show you a little bit of everything on this. But I am thrilled to get this one because I waited a long time for it. It's like I ordered it a long time ago. And believe it or not, they have another big live one. Not live one. They have another big one coming out to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Melancholy, which is due out, I believe, around Thanksgiving, which, I may end up getting that because, I have everything else. So that would be criminal if I didn't. So I'll show you like just a bit there. Sorry for the glare. Then we've got vinyls 5 and 6 here. They did do a really awesome job with this, and I could see why there was a delay in production, producing, books end upon end for each, volume of vinyl is crazy. So have all that. Once again, upside down. Killing myself here. Which makes me think when I first opened this and looked at it, I must have put everything in upside down. So, it's typical of the Pumpkins at this period in time. And I am glad they're a functioning unit still. I think they're great. And on it, the additional tracks is live stuff, demos, songs that flesh out the story, different versions, rarities, and some, like I said, some live stuff. So, very, very cool to have this in the collection. So, this is everything that I have for you this week. Want to thank you for checking out the channel. Next week, I got a feeling it's going to be a bit more proggy than this week. It's always there's tons of stuff coming out, and also going to talk about Record Store Day Black Friday. That is coming up. The list is out. If you haven't checked it out yet, go online to recordstoreday.com. If you've never participated in Record Store Day, it's definitely cool if you're into vinyl. I try to go the 2 times a year that they have it. Generally, the one in the spring seems to have a greater amount of releases. This is a shorter list. I think it may be under 300 albums, and that's total all genres. I've got my eye on about 10 of them. That's like, which is like half of what I got from the first record store day this year. But I am looking forward to it. There is some live stuff, some demo stuff, always live stuff. I'm always going to check out. So, go online, check it out, and I'm going to talk about it on the next video with what I've got coming in this week. And that's everything. Thanks again for stopping by the channel. Thank you for all the commentary. Thank you for subscribing more than anything else. Hope you have a great week. Until next time, peace, one love, music. I'm out.